Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. So today I'm going to do a video that I've never done before, but it seems like they're a pretty popular video to do, and that's an unboxing video. As you guys know, I've been making an awful lot of pocket knives lately. Here's one of three of the new toggle lock design. Let's see, here's the prototype right here, you know, so you've got dual thumb studs, so you use one thumb stud to roll the blade out, and then use the other thumb stud to lift up the lock bar and then close the knife. This is one of three of them in 440C stainless that I'm making. Had an order for one of these from a friend in my boy's Volkswagen, air-cooled Volkswagen car club, and so I decided to make three of them. They're coming along really good. The locks, boy, I made some filing jigs for those on the lathe with the milling attachment, and they are really helping out, getting just amazing fit-ups. I mean, these are the best fit-ups that I've gotten so far. So I got to finish those out, and then a couple of slip joints, trapper pattern slip joints. These are, this one right here is the this is going to end up being a pattern, but they're also out of 440C stainless, and so I put this one together right quick just to find the right tempering temperature for the springs, and I think I've just about got it. I've probably cycled this knife, I don't know, at least a couple of thousand times, and it's got a half stop. Really nice action, strong spring, and like I said, I've cycled it probably at least 1,000 times, if not more. The spring hasn't broken, it's not mushrooming at the end. The corners of the tang aren't digging into the underside of the spring, so I'm pretty excited to see how these turn out. But along with that, that's what this unboxing is about. The standard trapper to me, the ones by Case and Charade and everything, the clip point blade, it just seems to be too much of a clip point for my taste. And I was looking on Instagram, and there's a fella I follow on there by the name of Rick. I'm probably going to butcher your last name, Rick, but Rick Menifee, and he makes some really incredible pocket knives. And he had a picture in there of one that apparently he really likes quite a bit, and it's an old Remington, hear the snap on that? It's an old Remington trapper, and the main blade on that, the trapper pattern blade, I guess, has got a lot more of a drop point to it, is what it looked like in the pictures. So I got on eBay and started looking for one, and I couldn't really find one in good shape. I think I did find one, and it was like $400 or $500, something like that, which is way too much to spend on a pattern. So I was looking through the Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog this month, and they just happened to have a couple in there. So, and I haven't ordered anything from Smoky Mountain Knife Works in God, I don't know how long. But anyway, this is a mighty big box just for two pocket knives, but we'll find out. So we got a whole bunch of packaging here. Okay, so we got the Remington trademark box, and then, holy cow, this is the other one. That's why this box is so big. I thought for sure that they had that they had made a mistake. I mean, that's a huge box for two little pocket knives. So what this is a Marbles MR399, and it looked like it was the pattern that I was after. We got tape on here. I don't even know how to get the, there we go. The one I ordered, it's got a picture of a duck on the scales, so we'll find out about that. Actually, I probably ought to tilt you down so you can see this. There we go. That is one heck of a box, and fairly heavy for just a pocket knife also. Can you see in this? Oh, it's a whole duck. Like a big ceramic paperweight duck. Make sure you're still getting all this. And I'm guessing, oh yeah. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. Pinned in place. Got two locator pins there. And there's the knife, and holy cow, is that a big one. I don't know if you can tell that. I've got extra large hands, at least I wear an extra large leather glove. That is a massive, massive pocket knife. And that's pretty close to the blade shape that I was after. This one right here, where it's got a more of a straight back and a drop point. For me, it seems like it's kind of canted too far forward. But I do like that pattern. It's huge though. But this knife is flush in the open position. Little bit proud in the half stop. And a little bit low in the closed position. And the spay blade, boy, that's not a bad looking pattern either. And we are pretty much flush in the open, proud in the half, and boy, just we're probably flush in the closed position. Got a nice picture of a duck. No, 3 or 4 ducks flying over a pond there. And I really like the coining inside the nail nick. Nail nicks are something that I tell you, it seems like I hardly ever use them, but and I've been having kind of a heck of a time finding a nice way to make one, but that one looks like it'd have to be rolled in somehow. But anyway, it seems like a really not a bad looking knife. And let's see, it says Marbles Quality Knives on the blade. And on the back it says MR 399 China. No steel type. The blades are mostly centered, I guess. They're a little bit off, but not too bad. I think this knife was $24.99. So we'll have to set that off to the side and study it for a little bit. Now the Remington one. Now this one was supposed to be an 1989 model of trapper, and it is, boy, there's something there on the 1R112. Maybe there's a 3. It's kind of messed up there. This is the type of box here I was expecting. So when I saw that, ginormous box there for 2 knives like this, I thought for sure there'd been a mistake. Well, we've got Trapper Bullet Knife. The model number is R1128 Trapper. Made out of 440 stainless steel, which they don't say what grade. I use 440C, but there's 440A, 440B, and so forth. Tempered to a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 59, which is kind of expected from a factory production knife. Got some nice, probably anti-rust type paper. Now that right there, even though it's fairly large, that is gorgeous. I mean, the kind of sharp corners on the wood, I'm not too fond of, but that overall pattern right there, that is really nice. The blades are fairly centered. We've got this nice square tangs. I've been liking those. So your tangs, they're nice and square like that, with just a little bit of rounding on the ends or the corners. The springs are pretty well flush in the closed position, and they're the same length. They've got a little bit of an offcut on them, which is kind of odd. The pins and everything, these are all smooth. This one's inset, that one's slightly proud, that one's slightly proud. I really like the bullet shield and the thong tube in the back. The edges on the thong tube are kind of square, so I'll probably have to round that off a little bit. I mean, I don't usually put a thong on a pocket knife or any kind of knife except for a large chopper, so I probably wouldn't use those anyway. But we got what looks like nickel silver bolsters and pins, and then brass thong tube, brass liners, and they said the blades are made out of stainless, so I would kind of expect the springs would be also. Boy, that's got a nice, it's got a pretty good walk and talk for a factory knife. Springs down a little bit in the open, up just a hair in the half stop, and down just a half a hair maybe in the closed. The spay is, well, it was down just a little bit in the closed. Probably about 2 or 3 thousandths up in the half stop, and down about 1/1000ths in the open position. I like that spay blade. And that one's got a good action on it too. And this blade right here, that's pretty much the blade shape I was after. Like I said, it seems to me like it's canted forward a little bit too much for my eye, but that's okay. I can fix that. It says Remington and US made. US made? Really? USA? No kidding, made in the USA. Wow. That's really cool. Doesn't seem like you see made in USA very often on a pocket knife anymore. The inside looks really nice. There's a couple of spots in there that didn't get polished up all the way, but heck, you know, you never really look inside a knife anyway. Well, I tell you, I think, and the factory edge, it's kind of like most factory edges. We'll see if it'll pop any hair off my arm. It might. Looks like it's been buffed, but the geometry really looks nice. I mean, we've got, what have we got here? So as you guys know, I measure edge or blade geometry. I typically measure at the shoulder of the cutting edge, which this one is about 12 thousandths, which, man, that's really nice for a factory knife. Almost 50 thousandths, a 1/4 inch back, and that's probably 1/8 inch stock. 0.120, so I was 5 thousandths off. Man, that is incredible geometry for a factory knife. I mean, this is actually a knife that was, it might scrape shave some hairs, but let's check the edge on the other one. No. Well, no, it scraped a couple of hairs off. And the geometry on this one, it's probably 1/8 inch stock also. 0.12, no, it's a hair over 1/8 of an inch, 0.127. And then at the shoulder of the edge, we're looking at about 11 thousandths, 1/4 inch back, looking at 55 thousandths. Boy, let me tell you, it has been forever since I have looked at a factory knife that had that kind of cutting geometry on it. Boy, that's either a flat grind or it's a very, very, very slight hollow, like on a 24-inch wheel or something. No, it's flat. Boy, let me tell you, you know, I mean, I haven't sharpened this thing. I haven't cut anything with it. I mean, you saw me pull it out of the box, but just based on that kind of blade geometry, boy. Let's see if I can get you. Well, you just have to not see my whole face. That's pretty dang impressive. I mean, it really is. I mean, usually you get, you know, a factory knife. Well, let's test out a case. So I've got a case and a charade right here. Well, this is a much longer video than what I was originally planning for it to be. Now, both of these I believe are hollow ground, but so this charade here, that's 23 thousandths of an inch at the shoulder of the edge bevels. So twice what this Remington was. And then this case is 20 thousandths, so almost twice what this Remington is. Like I said, that's, boy, let me tell you, I mean, I don't buy a whole lot of new knives. I mean, typically if I'm looking for a pattern, which is why I bought these, you know, I'll pick them up at pawn shops or thrift stores, garage sales, eBay, that sort of thing. So it's pretty rare that I buy a brand new in-box knife, but to see geometry like that, boy, let me tell you, that knife right there was meant to actually cut something. I tell you, you know, I think what I might do is I might just put, I might go ahead and sharpen this thing up and carry it for a couple of weeks, a month, however long, and just kind of play with it for a little bit, because, man, with geometry like that, and if they're on with their 440 at 56-59, this ought to be a really good working knife. And the fit and finish is not bad at all. I'm really impressed. Now this knife here was, like I said, the Remington 1989 number R1128 Trapper. I paid $69.99 for it. I did have to pay a little bit of shipping. The shipping here was $8.99. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, if you sign up for their emails and stuff. Oh, come on. There we go. If you sign up for their emails on the first time you visit their website, they'll give you a 10% off code for your first order. Boy, let me tell you, unless something I'm not seeing is on here, that is one hell of a knife for $70. I'm excited to use this thing. Thanks, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and Remington. I wonder if Remington's actually making these or if they're subbing it out to somebody. But no, it doesn't have another name on here. But boy, let me tell you, that is impressive, and I'm really looking forward to carrying that one. Then I think this one right here is close enough. It's got the square tangs and everything. I'll probably strip this one down and use it as a pattern, make some small changes to it, and maybe offer it in 2 or 3 different sizes. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Because this one right here, whew, like I said, that edge geometry is just blowing me away. All right, anyway, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed my very first ever unboxing video, and I think it was a good one because, like I said, I was not expecting something like this for $70. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.